This is a walkthrough video of the Garden Planner and Tracker spreadsheet. This is your all-in-one garden command center. You can plan your beds, track every plant from seed to harvest, manage care schedules, log expenses, and watch your garden grow with live dashboards and charts. You get 11 connected tabs that work together to keep your whole growing season organized. We're going to start at the dashboard. This is your home base. This top strip will show you the live KPIs, which means the plants grown, the total harvested, water due today, overdue tasks, library size, total invested, and seed packets on hand. Everything updates automatically in the dashboard as you log your data in the other tabs. Here you can check your to-do today or overdue tasks. This lists the type of plants that needs attention right now, what area is it on, and what the task is. And you are going to manage these tasks on the care schedule tab. I have it linked over here, so it's easy for you to just go there because there are so many tabs in this spreadsheet. So you can go over here and you can see here that the sweet corn on bed 1A1, and I'm going to show you the map soon, but it means that it's overdue. So you're just going to double click in here and you can mark today that you watered it, and now next due is in a couple of days. Same thing with the fertilize. We have, let me see, they're all done, but you would do the same thing. You just double click and mark today, and then here will give you the next date for the fertilizing. In the care schedule, you're going to select your plant. These are the plants that are on your bed. They're a plant on your garden beds. And here you're going to select the area. So you have bed 1, bed 2, and bed 3, which I'm going to show you in a second. You have the task type, so you can water, fertilize, weed, prune, mulch, stake, harvest, all of those tasks that you can do. Here you're going to enter the frequency that you have to do this. You're going to fertilize every 21 days. You're going to water this plant every 3 days. So each plant requires different care. So you're going to enter that here. And then here you can double click. It will open a calendar. You can select the date that it was done. And then here it will show you the days since you completed that. So here, for example, you can see 0, which means I've done this today. And these ones were done 12 days ago. And here you have your next due, the status, and then any notes that you might have. Back to the dashboard, you can see here what's coming up. And this shows you the plants that are ready to pick within the next few weeks, sorted by how soon. You can see here that this spinach was expected to be harvested 15th of April, and now it's May 14th. Probably dead by now. Just kidding. So here shows you the days to harvest is -29. When this bar is completely filled up, it means that it's time to harvest. Here you can see that these ones, days to harvest, you still have 18 days to harvest your tomato, 18 days for your lettuce, and so forth and so on. And here it repeats the plant, but that's because I have them planted in different slots in the bed. And here you can click this header and it will take you to the growing log. So once you're in the growing log, you're going to log every plant that you are growing. Then you're going to enter the location. You're going to enter the planted date. Just double click and select the planted date. Here you're going to change the stages. So you're going to check each plant and then you're going to change their stages in here. The location, this location here is fixed. So you're not going to change that because this is what you can see over here, garden bed 1, 2, and 3. So when you click it, you can see here that you have these spots. Let's say you can do this by feet or whatever measurement you use. So let's say I have a 3 feet by 2 feet or something like that. So then I have space for 6 different plants. So then I know that I'm gonna mark over there in the growing log, I'm gonna mark the sweet corn on B1, the cucumber on B2. So every bed in here, every slot is assigned to one plant. So bed 1, B6, you're going to click over here. You can start typing and it will pull that here. So you can enter the cabbage green. And then here, the plant date. So let's say I planted this today. So you can just double click in here, add today. So then you can see here, days in the ground 0, expected harvest, that's the date, and days to harvest 90 days. And now it's on the growing. You can select seed, you can select germinating, fruiting, and then harvesting. Once it's harvested, you can come over here and click done, and then it will disappear days to harvest. If it's something that you're continuously growing and it's the same plant, then you can double click in here, mark today, and then you're gonna change to growing, for example, or fruiting, or whatever stage that plant is. If it's something that you completely pull out of the ground, then you're just gonna leave it done. And then say you're gonna plant something else in there, then you can just come over here and delete this, and then you can add something different in there. Now this one had an image. Now let me show you the plant library. This is your master catalog. I think I have 109 plants in here. You can delete them, you can keep them. Some of them don't have images yet, but you can add your own images in here by select the cell that it's in here, and then go to insert image, and you're gonna insert image in cell, because that's gonna be using other formulas in other tabs are going to be using this, so it needs to be in cell. And then you're gonna select the difficulty, the plant type, planting method. You're gonna fill out all of this, and you can freeze this row in here, so if it's easier for you to see, to scroll. You're going to enter here the good neighbors, the bad neighbors, and these good neighbors, bad neighbors, you're going to select from plants that have being entered in this catalog. Meaning, say for example, you're planting a tomato, and then tomato is known for not getting along with the red potato, for example. So I need to have the red potato logged in here somewhere, so I can mark this as a bad neighbor or a good neighbor. So you're gonna select from the drop down, and you can select multiple. You can see here I select the yellow onion, you can put the red onion and all of this stuff. Take your time building this library, because this is going to make a whole difference when you're planning all your garden beds. Let me go back in here real quick just to show you the rest. You can put soil pH, soil type, water frequency, seeding notes, fertilizer schedule. You can enter all that information in here, and this is for you to keep. But this good neighbor and the bad neighbor is going to be using here, is going to be of good use in here in the bed, because if you enter a bad neighbor, for example here, cabbage green is not a good neighbor with the wild strawberry, so it's going to show a plant conflict. So the wild strawberry should not be next to cabbage green. And then here says the sweet corn should not be next to the tomato roma, because they are bad neighbors. If it's green, it's a good neighbor. If it's red, it's a bad neighbor. And you have to enter the plant in here, the good neighbors and bad neighbors, otherwise this color coding will not work. This is why it's important. And then for the garden bed, you have garden bed 1, 2, and 3. So you have 3 different beds in here that are connected to the rest of the spreadsheet. Say you have garden bed here, but you're only using this kind of space. This could be a second bed. So it's up to you how you do this. So you can just put some internal notes that A1 through B4 is bed 1. D1 through E4, it's a second bed. You can name them, how you can change over here the names of the beds. If you want to change the name over here too, you can. Just don't duplicate these tabs, because then it's going to disconnect from the rest of the planner. So you have this space to plan this and this. Now, since we're talking about good neighbor, bad neighbor, there is a companion matrix over here, and you can see here all the plants that you have logged, and then down here is all the plants that you have in your beds. So if you're planting a tomato roma, for example, you can see here the good neighbors are this, and then you can scroll down here, you can see the bad neighbors are gold potato, red potato, sweet corn, russet potato. And then same with other stuff. So sweet corn, you can see here, gets along with bean poles, zucchini, summer squash, and then sweet corn does not get along with tomato cherry, tomato beefsteak, basically all the tomatoes. And then the gray ones are neutral. So it doesn't really matter if they're next to each other. I think that they will show up green in the garden bed, but some might not. Some might be neutral. As long as it's not red, as long as there's no clash in between the plants, then you should be good. And then here on the right side of your garden bed, so you have your grid in here, you have your clash detection here, and then here you can see what each color means in the grid. And then here you can have the plant tally. So how many sweet corns you have planted, how many wild strawberries. So all those plants that you selected over here. So if I want to select jalapeno pepper, for example, it's going to show over here now that I have 1. If I remove them, then it doesn't show over here. So you can see how many plants you have in your bed. Let's go back to the dashboard. So next you have, here you can see your harvest count by month. So you can see here that you harvested 2 in January, 1 in February, 3 plants, so forth and so on. And then here you can see your most recent harvests. So you can see here the plant. If you have an image in your plant library, it will pull the image over here and then it will show you the type. So is it vegetable, is it fruit or berry, is it flower? And then you have the date that it was last harvested, how much did it yield this harvest, so 5 count, so you got 5 summer squash. And then destination, it's like what is the destination of your plant, what are you doing with it? So for example, this one is for making bread, this one is for snacking, this one's for the kitchen, canning. So you can go ahead and clicking here in your harvest log, the plants that you harvested, you're gonna enter in here. So for example, if today I harvested a tomato rama, I can add how many. So let's say I harvested 3 count, and then what was the quality? So was it a good? 1 would be bad, 5 would be great. So let's say it was a great harvest. And then destination here, you can really write whatever you want. So you can do pickles, you can do sauce, or you can just leave it blank. It's up to you. Usually I do kitchen, and then that involves everything that I do in the kitchen. And then here you can enter any notes. Okay, let's go back to the dashboard. And then down here, you will see the growth stages. And this goes back to the growing log. So if you click over here, it's going to, this is basically a tally of this right here, the germinating, growing, done, growing, flowering, all this stuff. So you can see here that you have 10 in the growing stage, 3 flowering, 5 that are ready for harvest. And here you can see how this is distributed in a chart. Here is the number of harvests that you had over time. So if you click over here, you can see that in May you harvested 3, 2. This basically follows this one right here in a chart format. This here, it says this month what to do in May, and this will change every month. You're gonna open the calendar tab, just click over here on this calendar tab. I couldn't put a link in here because it's a formula. So this we can see here that when it's April, it's gonna say what to do in April. When it's next month, it's going to say what to do in June, and so forth and so on. So just clicking here, I'm going to open the monthly calendar tab. And here you're just going to, this is like a free typing kind of thing. You can just double click and start typing. You can delete what's in here and then says what to plant, fertilize. This is really for you to customize for your zone, for your climate. It's basically your year-round reference for what you start indoors, direct sow, transplant, harvest, prune, all those things. This is different and vary by your region, by the plants that you're growing, whatever you're planning on doing. This is, feel free to type whatever you want in here, and this will just pull the month. So January, February, March, April, and then here you have start indoors, direct sow, transplant out, harvest, prune, fertilize, general tasks. And then on the month, so here for example, I have to start indoors some squash, cucumbers, melons, and then transplant out. And then when you go on the dashboard, you can see here all the tasks that you have to do this month. So start indoors, direct sow, transplant out, harvest, prune, fertilize, and general. So again, this is going to pull from the calendar whatever you typed in May. Down here, you have your spending. So where did your money go? Here you have an average of $32 per purchase. Here you have your categories: seeds, oil, tools, plants, fertilizer, other. And then here you have how much you spent total and the share, like what each category basically was spent on. And here you see the total, and you can see you had a total of 12 purchases. Here it just shows you the categories, which one is bigger. It's just easier to see this way. So for you to track the expenses, you just click over here, and then it's going to bring you to the expenses tab. Here you're going to select the date. So you can just double click, select today, for example. So today I bought more soil, potting mix. You can enter whatever this is. Vendor, you can put Lowe's, quantity 1, it costs $6, and then here it gives you, automatically gives you the total. And then here you can quickly see your category subtotals. Here are all the categories that you can have, and then a percentage of what has been spent on each of the category and the total. Back to the dashboard. Here you have your recent notes from the field, and it will show you your most recent 4 entries. So you can see here that in June 10, there was a success. You harvested this bad aged strawberry because it was jam weekend. Now you can click over here and it's going to take you to the journal. Okay, and then in the journal, you can enter your date. So just double click, select your date, and then it will give you the category. So was it an observation, an issue, success, weather, past, disease, experiment, or idea? So let's say it's a note about pests. and then you can type in like a bed B or bed C. You can enter the weather if you want, and then the observation. Let's just copy this here, and then action taken. So what action did you take for this? And then that will show over here on the dashboard. So this was my latest entry. You can see here that on May 14, I had a problem with pests, and then what the problem was and what the solution was, and what plant does this refer to. And then here we have plant profile. I'm gonna just zoom out over here so we can see everything in one screen. And one more, I'll do 80%. There we go. So here you have a plant profile. You can just select any plants that you have in here. It will show you the image. It will show how many you have in your garden. So right now I have 0 tomato cherry in my garden, because if I go over here, I only have tomato Roma and heirloom tomato. And then here it says that it should just quickly show you the good neighbors, the bad neighbors, how much I harvested total, and how many count or how many items have been picked. In this case, I haven't worked with the tomato cherry yet, but it's in my plant library because I plan on doing so. So this is why it's there, and it shows everything 0. If you go to wild strawberry, you can see here that I have 2 wild strawberries in my garden. This is just shows you like the zone, the pH, the weather, and things like that. Good neighbors, bad neighbors. So far, I have harvested a total of 6.1 pounds, and I don't do by count, I do by pounds, my strawberry. If I did by count, then it would show the count over here. And then last but not least, we have the seed inventory, and this is where you are going to log every packet that you own, the source, the purchase date, expiration date, quantity, germination rate, and days to maturity, and then storage and stuff like that. And then here it will tell you based on expiration date, it will tell you if it's fresh, or if, for example, expiration date on this one was today, then it will show expiring. And then here on the seeds on the dashboard, you can see that you have 12 packets of seeds, but then only 11 it's fresh because 1 has expired. And that's it. That's how you use this planner. When the season ends, you can keep this log, and then you can change the naming here for 2026 season or whatever you want to name it. And then I would highly recommend you starting a new fresh blank planner for the next season, and then you name it 2027, for example. That way your previous year's file stays untouched as a record for you, and then you get a clean dashboard to start a new season.